Okay, hello everybody! I am here today with my good friend Mr. Jeffery Page, who you have seen in some previous videos.
So where you get Trevor and I walking out like Bigfoot?
And we are at his shop in Hollywood, California called California Gold. This is an amazing shop on Sunset Boulevard, and I get so many questions about tattoos. And I am not a tattooer, so I am not, I guess, qualified to answer them. So I figured what better way to answer tattoo questions than to get a tattooer, and a good one, a real good one. So I asked you guys for questions on Facebook. My feet aren't touching the ground. I feel like I'm 5. Whee! Okay, number 1. I'm curious about tattooing over stretch marks. Is it more difficult? Is there more pain associated?
The stretch mark thing is kind of a case-by-case scenario. It depends on what the person wants. Usually recommend things that are, very traditionally drawn tattoos work very well. You want to try to stay away from anything that's straight or symmetrical. Definitely organic stuff works better, and things with a lot of black shading, because the whole purpose of trying to usually cover stretch marks is why people are getting tattooed around stretch marks normally. And listen to your artists. I mean, most artists will try to tell you what's going to work best with your ideas in mind, because for one, you're their billboard, so if it doesn't look good, they don't look good. Yeah, I'm trying to do Jesus' face over some stretch marks. You're going to get some things that might not look right. It might look a little bit more like Quasimodo. So
Here's a good one that will benefit you. Artist suggestions when tipping.
That's weird, because tipping is also usually shown as a sign of gratitude, and across the world there's different forms of that, and there's different customs. Keep in mind that they're a human being and they're doing a service to you, and they're performing something that you live with the rest of your life. If you get a good tattoo, you like it, you should tip. If you get a good meal, you would do the same thing.
So there's no standard. It's not like in the service industry where it's 20%. It's just
it's really, there is no standard. 20% is probably something every artist would be gracious for, but no one's going to turn away $2.
What's a good question to ask the tattoo artist prior to choosing them?
Good questions to ask. For one, if the person's even into it. When it comes to actually choosing an artist and asking them questions, it's more feeling if you buy it. If you start going on longer journeys and getting bigger pieces, you're going to want to be on the same level with them. There's not a right or wrong thing to ask an artist. Like, if you ask something and you don't feel like you get the answer back that you wanted, then probably that's the wrong artist for you.
Also goes hand in hand. How do you know if a shop/artist is reputable, and how do you choose a good shop or artist?
I think it's it's word of mouth. Sometimes it's oil and water. People just don't mix. It doesn't make someone bad or someone good. It's just you didn't find your cup of tea on it.
It's so easy. You can see reviews and all of that online now too.
You have a smartphone. Use it for something smart.
What is the artist, meaning you, biggest gripe with the misconceptions presented by many of the popular reality TV tattoo shows?
This list can go on for days. Most of the people that are on the shows have heard me gripe about this shit. It's just a misconception that this is your way right away. I'm not a restaurant and I serve my own type of shit. You're getting something from a creative person. We're human beings. We have moods of emotions. Everybody's walking away with back pieces in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If you come in, you're in a rush. You have to make a plane by 7 o'clock. Your appointment's at 4 o'clock. Well, you're going to cause us to be in a rush.
What is the most successful healing method? I have heard many different things.
I've used different methods. I've seen different methods. I've tried different methods.
Is there any method that's wrong?
All of them are wrong. We're inflicting ourselves with pain, needles, putting a foreign substance in our body and expecting to walk out, without some kind of scar. I feel if you're a healthy individual and you don't pick and scratch at it or submerge it underwater, it should be fine. Your body should heal. Sometimes it's a little rougher in areas if it itches a little bit or might get a little dried out. Put some lotion on it. Very small amounts are fine. I've heard the Panthem, the Aquaphor, H2O. I like people using just Corel. It's just a waxy lotion, doesn't clog pores. Most infections are because people are actually they're rubbing all over their tattoo, and they just got done handling some money that was probably in some cokehead's nose or in a stripper's G-string.
Do you prefer that people come with something in mind, or if they need help? is that okay? How do you feel when people come in with things already drawn?
Once again, case by case scenario, and I think it's artist by artist. You know, some parent can come in with their kids drawing on paper with crayons, and you're actually looking forward to recreating a kid's drawing on their parent and have no problem doing it. And then you can have some girl come in with a picture that her best friend drew that she wants to get tattooed on her, and she wants it in a full half sleeve. And then you realize it's an 8.5 by 11 piece of Xerox paper that has nothing but little tiny black and white ink drawings through the whole thing that are so small that if you were to actually do it within probably a year or two, it would just be almost completely black blobs to begin with. And then you try to explain that to someone, once again having high expectations with not knowing exactly what it is, you know, and then you all of a sudden totally piss on someone's parade, and you don't necessarily want to do that. I believe there's no bad ideas. I think there's just bad approaches.
Is it considered rude to ask the tattoo artist to clean the equipment in front of you?
It's not a dumb question, but if you've done your research and you've found a great artist, most of them you'll realize are already ahead of the game.
It's not uncouth to ask to see like the packaging. Things should be put through an autoclave, which is a sterilization machine. The tubes should be put through a sterilization machine. Needles should be new, and they should all come out of packaging.
Pretty much anybody who is tattooing professionally these days, if they're not using basically instruments that are autoclavable, they're using stuff that are disposable. State of California anyways, we have to keep records of every cycle that we run through the autoclave. Everybody at California Gold is registered, and they have their bloodborne pathogen certificates. Like, in each state has different laws, also with ages. But yeah, it's not a bad question to ask, but most operating fully functional tattoo shops, it's on the roll, because if not, you're getting shut down pretty quick. Yeah, if someone's going to tattoo, it'll probably hopefully look like a scene out of Dexter. So, and if it does, then you're pretty much good to go.
Do I have to get laser removal on a tattoo before I get it covered up?
Not necessarily. You can. It depends on what it is. Again, case by case scenario. If you want a new tattoo that's really light, with not a bunch of black shading, you probably want to try to get the thing lasered off beforehand. If you have something that's really crappy and you don't really care, and you're just looking to get it covered up, and you're like, I want a big Grim Reaper or a panther, and you're like, let's go for it, you don't have to.
Last question, why do tattoos tend to raise when you scratch them, or sometimes they get itchy for no reason? And for me, mine raise when I drink. So
well, yours is probably raised when you drink, because it's just God's way of showing you that you're sinning.
Drink.
Yeah, it actually, once again, it's allergic reactions. Sometimes it can be scarring. It's people, different DNA, different skin. It's just like lotions. Some lotions, some people can use. Some lotions, some people can't.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
If you guys come to LA and need a tattoo, come to California Gold. It's amazing.
Yes.
There's somebody at this shop that can do any style that you need, and they're all amazing. So I definitely highly recommend this place. Thank you guys for your questions. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, got on his back, and he like taped up his balls with a dental bib, and then he stuck a dental bib up his butt.
Oh.
Shut up, dude.
Why?
What?
Be sure to check out my episode of How I Wear It on I Love Makeup's YouTube channel. You can go ahead and click here for the direct link, or check the description box below to see this red carpet look.
She grew up listening to that country beat, and every time I see her, she'd be tapping her feet for country music.